Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
Infinite amount of planets.
I just want to know if the chicks on Mars are hot.
Yeah.
Do they have multiple?
Something tells me they're pretty
Do they
hot.
have multiple fucking vaginas?
It's a great place to start.
What's up? We're Laniidae. Thanks.
Welcome to the
Thanks
show.
for joining us.
We got Chris and Joey from Laniidae. Say hello, guys.
What's up, guys?
We're very, very excited to have these guys on the show. They're going to be headlining my wife's birthday party on Saturday, November the 2nd. Shout out to the lovely C-Dub. I'm trying not to say her name on here. First, let me say thank you for doing it. It was. I know it was a big ask. You are her favorite local band.
Sweet. Thank you.
So when I asked her who her favorite was, and she said it was you, I reached out to Joey to try to make this happen. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, dude, anytime. We're stoked.
And we've got Faithful Annie coming back, and Forever May Fall. Yep. Both also great bands. This is a really, really good lineup. So it's going to be a killer show. We're going to be celebrating, and we're just excited to have you back because I know you guys don't do a whole lot of local stuff.
Yeah. We've that's kind of like been the plan from the start. Joey kind of put this whole thing into motion, and he was like, we're gonna do a big Charlotte show every year, and then we're not gonna like overcrowd this market because your home base, your hometown is like what helps you lift off. But like for us, like we've all been in other bands that play around our hometown all the time, and we were like, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's like switch it up for this band, try something different. And it's been pretty cool, It sucks that you don't get to play like those, like,
the homie shows.
The homie shows a lot, but when you do, it's just like super special. It's super cool.
Yeah. When your first time playing here, it was a sellout crowd. The place was fucking packed.
Yeah.
And the energy in the room was amazing. And that was my first time seeing you. And it was like, wow, I get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And, there's different philosophies. There's some bands that need to play every show, right?
There's
some
no
bands,
wrong way.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. There's some bands that you see their name on every other bill, and that's good for them.
Mm-hmm.
They need the experience. They need to, and then, like you said, you guys have been around the scene for a while. You have this, when you put this band together, is this mostly your vision, Joey?
No, I can't say that. I did start the process, but I had Chris come in early on, and then like our drummer Larry, he was in a band with me before. I've been in bands with Kyle as well, our bassist, and then Jay. Chris has been friends with him. He was in other bands as well, but I kickstarted it, but that's about it.
But when you put it together, were you going for this specific sound? For lack of it's kind of hard to like genre you guys, but I would say pop metal.
Yeah, there was no direction. It was just whatever comes out at the time. I think we have more of a direction now, though.
Absolutely.
You definitely have a sound.
Yeah.
For sure.
We were both like came from like heavier bands. So we started out like writing like very heavy music. Like that was pretty much our only intent. Like everything, it was like our first EP is only on YouTube and it's just straight heavy. There's like one song that has like a really like pretty chorus and that's it. Like,
yeah.
And then after just like writing, we like just kind of naturally started writing stuff that like wasn't so heavy, and we just kind of focused on like writing like cool songs.
Well, adding melody to heavy music opens so many doors creatively.
Yeah.
There's a lot more you can do, especially when you incorporate keys and synth and tracks and stuff.
Yeah. And Jay was a huge part of that. Like coming in, Jay was originally a feature on our song "Away," and because Jay has a solo like pop project, and so I was like, you got to come hang. You got to come do a song with us. And then after that first song, it was like, you're never leaving. Like you're stuck with us now. You know this.
You're on the team. Nice. Now, one thing I do appreciate is that you're not just sitting around not playing local shows. You're getting out and you're hitting the road from time to time, and that's hard to do when you've got family, significant others, that kind of stuff. So what's y'all's philosophy on like how much time you spend on the road versus how much time you're here? Like, do you have a specific, these are the times of the year we can do this? Like, how does that work for you guys?
We're still like, I think about it like we're still a pretty young band because we didn't take the stage for the first time until 2022. So we've only been playing live for a couple of years. And so we're still like pretty much just taking any opportunity to get out of town, but we do like heavily like prioritize that. Like pretty much every show that we book is out of town just because like, again, we don't want to really play close to home. We want to get out. Even we played a VFW 2 weeks ago before we played our headline show in Charlotte, Yeah. It's like we will take any opportunity to go to a new city and meet some new people that we can. And so there really isn't like a set amount of time. It's like at this point we're still hungry. We're still like a young band, still just like, hey, if you've got a show in Florida, we're coming. Like we will come down there and play.
Yeah,
I love that attitude too.
With me though, I think about just having support from whoever you're with, and people are understanding of that. They know that this is what we're chasing. This is what we've been doing for a while. So hopefully we can make something lucrative of it at one point. And then our significant others will be like, yes.
Well, in other words, you want to take opportunities with people that are taking it seriously and are making business decisions. And because even as a venue owner, it can be very frustrating when you get people in here that just really want to throw a party. They don't want to do a show; they just want to throw a party. There's certain shows types of shows I don't really book anymore because it always ends up being a hang. And I'm just over here fuming because
guys, get your stuff on stage.
Like
man.
It's this big shit show, man. Let's go. Let's let's have a show. So I respect that too. Me and Joey have talked a little bit, and it's one of my favorite things about you is how serious you take the craft. It definitely shows in the music, man. You guys do kill it, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And it did like the one LP you have out. There's a theme there, right?
Yeah, for episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about it because when I went and listened to it for the first time, I was like, this feels like a story that's being told.
Growth.
Yeah, growth, definitely. It's kind of funny because I don't think we really intended to like put that EP out for a long time. We were just like dropping singles like left and right for probably like 3 years. And then we kind of like got backed up because we write every week. Joey and I get up and write, and like we're always sending stuff around, and we kind of just like ended up with these like songs that all kind of sounded like they fit together, and we were like, what if we just like put these together and dropped it and call it an EP and see what happens?
At the same time, though, we were messing with a PR company that's pretty credible.
Yeah,
and we knew we needed to put some new material out, and they had told us to hold off on putting material out. They said don't release anything until January of next year. Yeah. So we had all this material kind of backed up, and when we released that, again, like how Chris was saying, there was a lot of, this song is kind of like one that we already had in the banks, and then we've got this song, but then we wrote a ton of new stuff that just, it clicked, it made sense, it sounded like it fit with itself. So.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess there's no like real like, storyline to it, but like I definitely like there's a lot of like emotional weight to a lot of those songs because some of those songs like We Both Know, for instance, was written like 2 years before that EP came out, and like at that time I was going through a breakup, so that emotion's in there. We've got Everhaze, which is kind of like
that was a COVID song right there.
Yeah. And it was it's a love song. If you got a significant other in your life, like that's what that's about. honestly, you know, I kind of like wrote about like my family and like what I like would say to them, like as like kind of like my last words, you know.
Yeah.
That song resonates.
Yeah,
It's weird. It's weird, man, because like that's a song that personally I didn't think would ever be like something that playing live would be. I mean, necessarily, I can't say like not worth it, but it was a song that I didn't think would catch on so much. And when we play that one live, it's like we've seen people crying in the crowd.
Yeah, it's like electric.
And I'm like, that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. You know,
it's cool. It's cool.
That is a great feeling when you get that instant feedback that something you created matters to somebody else.
That's a hard one to tackle, man. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that feeling for a long time.
I just got that feeling over the last month and what we went through. I mean,
yeah, sure.
You know, I don't want to get like too deep into it, but like, you know, I'm sitting here staring at failure, like colossal fucking failure.
Yeah.
You know, to the likes, you know, that I've never experienced before, and kind of was in that mindset of figuring out how to accept that level of failure. And then I threw this Hail Mary and the community rallied.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
And I still don't think I've reconciled those emotions. I still don't think I'm there yet, like where I can fully appreciate what we did.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a little bit in shock that it happened.
It was like outpouring, you know, of everyone I know in the music scene was like, we have to save this place. We have to make this work, you know. And it's like it's
awesome.
It's super cool, dude.
And see, outside of like my kids, I've never gotten that feeling from anything else. So I kind of liken it to what you experience when you put out a piece of art or a song or an album that people relate to and get emotional about. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I still, at 45 years old, I'll still go to concerts for bands that I've loved for years and years and find myself like in this emotional state in the middle of the show. Like they'll play a B-side that you didn't think anyone else gave a shit about, or you know, they'll play that one song that made them fall in love with, made you fall in love with them, and then it's just kind of, you get overwhelmed with emotion. It's, you know, I've always kind of likened it to church.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, music, you know, kind of like just captures like a moment in time, like for like when you fall in love with it and like what it made you feel. And every time you hear it, it's like, boom, you're right back.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like the beauty of it. And that's why it's so like addicting in a sense, you know, it's like it brings you back to better days. Or maybe if you're going through a hard time, you listen to a song that got you through some hard times.
Makes
It's
you
like,
tough,
yep, it's cool. It's cool.
You got a particular album or song that's kind of like your go-to, or like one of your favorites. It's like, man, I never want to forget that moment in life.
Oh man, probably there's on Under Oath's record, They're Only Chasing Safety. There's a song called I'm Content with Losing. And you know, I was like 13, 14, and I'd been listening to that album for years, and then I just never really like gave that song the time of day. And then one day it just clicked with me, and it was like like when I was like going through some crazy shit for a 13-year-old, I guess. I was like, you know, moving away from everybody, like going to somewhere new, and I just like will never forget that song like getting me through that. And I was like, man, this is rad. And I still like that's still my favorite Under Oath song to this day.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Boston.
You ever heard some Boston or some Creedence Clearwater Revival? I don't know.
Hey, dude,
man.
I love that old shit,
just
man.
Good old music. That's what I like. That's what gets me through my days.
Yeah, the classic rock, the purpose it now serves for me is it kind of is the last thing left that makes me feel like a teenager again. Yeah, like you know, like the stuff that my dad and uncles listened to that got me in loving with music. That's the only thing I got left that kind of puts me in that youthful mindset.
Yeah,
I like the organicness of it.
Yeah,
how organic it is.
That and like how a lot of that music was like. There's a lot of life lessons in there. You know? Think about like some of the Beatles songs and Creedence, and you know, I mean Creedence. They wrote protest music, really.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
They captured a moment in time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, I don't know. For me, Pink Floyd was a big one. You know, that's one of my very favorite bands of all time.
There's a lot to be said for like that era of music too, and just like the way it was recorded, and like because like you said, it's like very like organic and like very like like genuine.
moment.
You know, it's like you
Yeah.
don't get as much of that these days. You know, everything's like very produced, like always.
Yeah.
I mean, even there's like a a level of production in our band.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think that era, of like classic rock and like moving in like 70s, 80s stuff is like all like very like genuine.
Yeah.
And I think it's still like super powerful.
No, I agree. Yeah, you're fine, man.
You gotta put it up to the mic next time.
Yeah, next time put it right there. Yeah, but talking about production, like you guys, there's a lot going on in a lot of your songs. Are you writing that like on computer keyboard? Are you like who's layering what? Like, do your songs start with a guitar riff? Like,
I'd
sometimes
say,
often with a lot of our newer stuff, there will be like a vocal line for the chorus written. Jay will write something cool, or might be something that Chris has an idea, and then we kind of write around that.
so there's a melody, kind of.
Yeah, sometimes.
but then a lot of times
it's like riffing out.
It's
just
like
riffing, so.
it kind of like evolves. Like I think it started out for a long time. It was just Joey writing riffs. Like that was how Laniidae songs came to be. He would write riffs, and I would just be like, cool, and write over it.
Yeah.
And then, as things evolved and we both got like more like comfortable in like doing what we were doing and kind of got a better idea of what we wanted to hear, like then like, okay, well, let's work off like this vocal hook. And Jay coming in was like a huge influence because Jay just has like this very like modern, like hooky way of writing melodies. Like it is like the most
Is he
infectious stuff.
So his last time his brainchild?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
The hook for sure.
I remember when we were sitting outside your
That
house on
song
the
is
porch.
catchy as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing. It was just that small little like hook. Next time's gonna be the last
Yep.
time.
And then we feed off of that.
And then I remember we were sitting on the back porch, and Jay was like, you said something like write me a dope ass chorus then. Jay said, all right. And like walks in there and just like pulls that out of their ass. And the next thing you know, like 2 weeks later, we're like, holy shit, this song rules.
it's one of their most recent releases. If you don't know, it's called Last Time. It was what, a couple months back, maybe.
Beginning of the year.
Already
coming
but
up.
man, it's a banger. It's a fucking banger. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's cool, and that's that's like Jay is just a powerhouse in that area of like writing just these really modern hooky stuff. Because when I sing stuff, I sound like a 2000s emo boy. That's my wheelhouse.
Is that why you do more of the
I'm much more
screamy
like
stuff?
the harsh, screamy guy, and then like the rough around the edges, singy guy. I'm the Taking Back Sunday guy that like slightly sings out of key.
Funny story about like all of this, and you were asking how we write songs and shit. So when we wrote the last single that we put out, Worst Day, that was a song. All right, so we're about to play this place. we're playing this Saturday.
We're playing Milk Parlor in Blacksburg, Virginia. This is last year.
So we played the Milk Parlor, and we had our worst set that we've ever had. That's all I'm going to say about that. We had a really, really bad set.
Yeah.
Murphy's Law type of
It happens to everyone, you know? We get it. It happens, you know?
yeah.
But we had a really, really bad set. And like 2 days later, Jay comes to me, and he's like, I have this hook. And that was Worst Day.
And that was Worst Day.
And it was about this
terrible
show that we had. And it turned around to be such a cool thing, though, because it's like, man, that set really fucking sucked, man.
Yeah. We were all like so bummed. Like that was a rough drive home.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet.
I mean, did you got even we like to think we're pretty seasoned. We've all been in other bands.
Yeah.
But like those lows are still totally necessary. You got to fuck up at some point.
Keeps you humble.
Yeah. It keeps you humble, and
it can always happen.
And hey, we wrote a great song out of it. So.
We're gonna go crush that place.
Yeah. So we're playing there again this Saturday, and we're opening with Worst Day.
Yeah.
We're like, all right,
I'm
Bring it
going to
back.
open with the song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Milk Parlor, where is that?
Blacksburg,
Virginia.
Virginia.
Blacksburg.
Yeah, it's like the what is it? Virginia Tech's campus is like here, and Milk Parlor's like here. It's like
Yeah.
one
Sweet.
road over.
Dude,
so.
that's the one thing that's missing from this area is like a major university.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you got to go to
You
the other
got
side of Charlotte.
Gaston College right now. Harvard on the highway over there. What are you
Dude,
talking about?
You're either 18 or 36 at Like, our demographic isn't there.
Yeah, I don't think those kids are packing this place out.
We got Belmont Abbey, which is like a Catholic school.
Yeah, the Belmont Abbey kids. I worked in Belmont for a couple years, and I guarantee you those kids aren't coming to see metal shows. Guarantee you. Shout out Belmont Abbey, you fucks.
Do you all work through? Is this the only thing you do is music, or do y'all have jobs too?
Oh yeah. So I'm a bartender. I've been bartending for like 11 years now.
I have a recording studio, and I record bands from time to time.
Well,
And
shout out. Let's promote that for
yeah.
a second. What's the name of your studio?
we just do park production.
Production?
There's no real name to it. It's just kind of a LLC type business, And I also detail cars and boats and pressure wash and I do a little bit of that type stuff. But yeah, we have to have jobs. We're not on that level.
Are you? Well, I mean, I was just curious. So,
Yeah.
Are you producing all the music for Laniidae?
We
kinda like
we
a
all
tag
kind of
team.
do. So we record a lot of it at my house, and we take it from there. And our other band members get a hold of it, and they put their touches to it. And then our bass player Kyle he's the guy, man. He does a lot of the mix downs and the
Puts
masters
it all
and
together.
stuff. Yeah, and of course I drive him nuts. I'm constantly like, "Hey, man, I think we should do this. Hey, we should try this." And
Yeah.
I know he gets sick of it, but he's there for it. He's great.
Well, you and I
he's the
talked.
best.
One of the first conversations we had was about kind of being a perfectionist, about making sure something's polished and ready before you present it
Yeah.
out there, and how you can always go back, and even after you think you're done, a song's never really done, and
Never.
Oh yeah,
that
never.
kind of thing. It's
At some point, you just gotta send it. You gotta upload it to DistroKid and be like, "That's what."
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
We've tweaked it enough, boys. Like it's because I'm not super fluent in mixing and mastering and stuff like that. So mix 5 sounded great to me.
Yeah, mix 5.
And we're on mix like 15. I'm like, sounds good, boys. Let's send it.
Yeah. Can we just be done with this damn song?
It's like,
We're sick of it by the time we play it, for sure.
the hi-hat sounds fine, bro. I promise. Like, no one's
One
gonna-
more DB.
Yeah,
One more DB, Chris.
That's awesome. But I love it. Attention to detail, man.
Yeah.
That's part of what separates you guys. I mean, even with your live performance, I don't know how much of what you do on stage is like intentional or planned, but
Feel
it's a fucking show. Like
Yeah.
you guys, I assume you're like that even at the milk parlor. You're still up there putting on that same energy, that high energy type of show. I got to assume that that's just from experience, right? You guys just know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think we've all been around the block with that. And, I mean, Kyle especially, our bass player, he's played in several touring bands and he's traveled the country. He's been to Japan.
Oh, nice.
Which I didn't find out till recently. I was
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
toured in Japan, bro? Okay. But yeah, I mean, we're all like showmen, and you just kind of years and years of doing it, you kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. And I think we're all just kind of on the same page with a lot of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. Truth.
I always, when I get to talking and thinking about like performance, y'all ever seen that movie Airheads?
Oh, yeah. I love that shit. That's
I always
great.
think about that scene where Steve Buscemi's fucking doing his bass in front of the guys in prison. The guy's looking at him. He's just kind of like, looks around like, just kind of close it off.
I want a PRS with a dragon inlay. That's like a $20,000 guitar for the record. I know that for a fact. And that's an amazing guitar, but I want one of those too.
Well, I don't. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with gear, but like, do you guys all, or do y'all have a philosophy on like what kind of equipment you're using in strings, or does everyone just kind of have their own stuff? It's like sometimes you'll go see bands and like everything looks the same. Like everyone's using orange amps and Gibson guitars or something.
I mean, our bass is DI. You know? So it's like
he uses some cool shit.
Yeah. And then Joey's got his stuff. I'm a vocalist.
Particular, to be honest.
I don't know why I'm talking.
I have my gear. I really like to use. I have a old school triple rectifier. It's a dual channel, and I no longer use that because it weighs 700 pounds. And I get tired of carrying it to every show. So
we get tired.
Yeah, they get tired. I'm always in the parking lot heading out somewhere, and they're like, "Are you gonna help?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You already got the heavy shit, bro. It's easy now, you know." But no, I don't know, man. I think that we all know our equipment well. We have a custom drum set that was built by a good friend of ours, and it sounds great. I use Mesa Boogie cabinets because they sound great.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle uses a dark glass, some kind of preamp thing. I don't know, dude.
I'm just throwing out
We're not
words.
super gear nerds. We just
get-
know what sounds good. You know?
I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with it. The reason I ask some of these questions is I think it's fun to get perspective from a band that that's so unique. In a crowded market where there's so many metal bands.
Yeah.
So many metal bands, and you've got so many types of metal. It's good to get perspective from those that are seeing success, doing it right, and I think it helps to encourage others or might give some others some perspective on kind of how they approach the craft.
Yeah,
So,
it's
trying to be educational.
Man, just try your hardest to be yourself, do the things that you enjoy in music and the sounds that you like, recreate that. Don't try to be anything or anybody that you're not, just be yourself. That's the only thing that I can think
Pantera
of.
told us way back in the day.
Just try to be yourself,
I think you kind of mentioned like all bands will have like the all orange cabs and stuff like that. And aesthetics is like
That's
a
their
huge
thing. That's their
a
thing.
huge thing in
Yeah.
metal. It's like what's your aesthetic? Metalcore bands in the 2010s all had the black, skinny, ripped jeans. What did you say? What did you say?
Y'all keep on talking.
I'm trying to be
The
philosophical.
twisted tees are moving right through it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't worry, Joey. I got this. I'm after you.
Just
but-
left you hanging.
Yeah, I think aesthetics are like a huge part of just the metal look, and it's weird because I've always taken that to heart and always been, you have to have a look, the band has to all kind of be uniform in some way. And we just kind of threw all that out the window with this band. We just all kind of, none of us are getting up there in flip flops.
what's funny is
There's a
the-
line, but we all just kind of dress our own way, and it's it still seems to look good, and it's I don't know. It's strange. It's strange how it can work really, really well, but also you don't need it at the same time.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're going for.
Well, there's many arguments to be made, but you could make the argument that at some point it gets gimmicky.
Yeah.
Of course, no one's ever really said that about Slipknot.
Oh yeah, no one should ever say that about Slipknot 'cause it's the coolest thing on the face of the
what
planet.
they do is amazing,
Yeah.
and same thing with bands like Mushroom Head and Mudvayne,
Yeah.
they stand out.
Yeah, or even
But
newer
it-
bands like Sleep Token,
Yeah.
it still works in a lot of ways. And
Yeah, dude,
man.
Sleep Token, who saw that coming, man?
Oh
Good
yeah,
Lord.
dude, wild. I remember first hearing about them. Probably back in 2019 maybe, and I listened to a couple songs and I was like, oh, this is really cool.
during the pandemic
and,
is when it
and
hit
yeah,
us.
and I I liked the visual of it, the kind of culty, creepy looking stuff. I was like, yo, this looks really, really awesome. Did not expect them to become basically the number one band in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Insane, an insane rise. Super cool though.
Yeah, good for them, right? And,
It's awesome.
and that guy, he's been at it for years and years.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's not an overnight
Oh,
success.
dude, you can tell by that dude's voice. He ain't no
Yeah.
beginner.
Yeah.
That man can sing. God. But But yeah, again, like the aesthetic thing like works so well for them, and so it's kind of cool. Like, you know, like for us, it's like we're just like, let's just like, I don't know, Joey's
there
gonna wear
and be
the same
yourself.
shirt every
Yeah.
show. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Go out there and be yourself. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, there's a vulnerability, you know, to just kind of being yourself and kind of letting it all out there. And I see it all the time, like, especially with like more inexperienced bands or, you know, younger artists. They get up there and you can tell the confidence isn't there yet to like just be yourself. And you know, people are really quick to, you know, it's funny. So many, I'm going to catch shit for this, but majority of people are fucking stupid. There's so many stupid people out there. But for some reason, people can always tell when you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even the dumbass can tell when you're
Yeah.
faking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you really can't afford to try to be something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not if you want to have any kind of career in music, whether that career is being a part-timer or you're going all in and selling the house to do it, you can't be full of shit. You know, I feel the same way about, you know, this show. If I come on here and try to be something other than who I am, I'm gonna watch it back and hate myself.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
I
I
think
mean?
it really is just like, at the end of the day, like playing in a band, it just comes down to like playing music that like you genuinely like give a shit about, you know? It's like, and I think that's what happens with a lot of like younger bands is, you know, you'll have like two dudes that are really into it and then like two other guys that just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's
Just here for the
always
free pussy.
always that like offset, you know, of like who's really into it, who's not, who's bored, who's whatever. And, you know, but when you do like get that group together of 5 dudes that are all about it, like it shows. It's like that performance in itself will like show people that like, oh, this is real. This is cool.
Takes a long time to get that.
Yeah, it does. It takes a long
to get that.
time.
Yeah, I mean, pull that up.
Sorry, bro.
Have you always
hello.
played metal, Joey?
Yes and no. I did. I was into like punk rock and more like like bands like Helmet. I like
Dude,
stuff like that
fucking-
when I was a kid.
Everyone sleeps on that band, dude.
Oh,
That
yeah.
band's awesome. I went to the
You can't sleep on
Vigilite for
Helmet.
the
They
Betty
rule.
25th anniversary tour. Were you
Yeah.
there?
No, I
They
wasn't.
played
no.
Betty start to finish, dude.
That's my
Fucking,
favorite
it was
album by them.
awesome.
I love Meantime, but I love Betty as well. Betty
Yeah.
was great. I was always into stuff like that. So I was into like the heavier end of punk rock and rock and alternative rock. I always like the heavier stuff. And metal, I guess like metal's awesome, but a lot of bands do the same shit in metal as far as I'm concerned. I think that a lot of the stuff is oversaturated, and I'm probably gonna catch shit for that. But whatever, you know, it is what it is. But
It's a big community,
yeah.
though, man. Like, the metal community is a big community. And
It
there-
is,
and there's-
it is.
and, you
It's
know, and
strong,
there's
too,
Yeah,
man.
it's
It's
strong. It's very much like family. Like, you're really there for each other. Like, you know, stick up for each other. Help. You know, the whole mosh pit philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, and,
Pick
you
each
know,
other up.
and just,
Yeah.
it just- there's look. I mean, metal is comforting to a lot of us that didn't draw inside the lines and live inside the box. You know,
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
so many of us that I'm trying to find a delicate way to say that, like those of us that just grew up unprivileged and
Yep.
just didn't have a lot or didn't have a lot of love in the house,
Yep.
whatever it is that made us fucked up. You know, metal's always that one thing there, standing there with open arms. So,
Yeah.
naturally, you're going to get a lot of hardcore and beat down bands out there just screaming at stuff. And then
Yep.
you're going to have a few standouts, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it really is though. Like growing up, I was in like middle school. You know, kind of started dabbling in some Disturbed and some 3 Days Grace, and I was like, oh shit, this is like
There's music.
You know, it is like a weird sort of comfort, like you said, when you're growing up and you don't really like feel like you fit in that well.
The flips or the switch flipped for me. I'm much older than you guys. When in '92, when Rage Against the Machine's first album
yeah.
came out, and at 13 years old, for the first time in my life, I'm hearing this awesome music saying "fuck you, I won't do what you
Yeah,
tell
Oh
me."
yeah, it's like a power.
It was.
you know?
That's exactly how
Yeah.
I felt. I was like, "Oh, you can do this.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
say this."
Dude,
and
I
yeah.
can't tell you how many times I've said that to myself, like listening to music growing up. I'm like, this is allowed? Like,
Yeah.
like like you can make this, like that's crazy because like you just never think of it, you know,
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah,
young.
and
Shout out Offspring, Bad Habit.
dude,
You stupid, dumb shit. Goddamn motherfucker. I just want to say that. I just want to say that on the mic.
Cuss words.
yeah, that's it. Dude, yeah, people forget about that whole album, man. Yeah, I'll spring.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
See, now you're gonna leave me on the spot. Oh shit! Now shit's gonna get interesting. Let's talk about Mr. Bungle.
For you growing up, for me, all we really had was radio. Like there were
Yep.
no streaming, there was no YouTube and all that.
Sure.
So a lot of the stuff I found out about that wasn't commercial was through like Decibel magazine or Spin magazine
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Where like when you're coming up as a teenager, where were you finding new music and stuff like that?
Man, I kind of boycotted music, to be honest with you.
No shit.
Yeah, like when I started writing a lot, I got tired of hearing the bands that all sounded the same, and I felt like if I listened to a lot of music, that it would
Be
make me
influenced by it.
write all that music. So I kind of got stuck in this dead zone for a while, and I listened to like old school grunge music. Like I really liked Soundgarden
Hell
and
yeah.
Alice in Chains and stuff like that, and I liked the riffing that they had going on. So I got stuck in that era for a while, and then I got into a lot of hip hop.
There was about a 15-year period where it seems like rock and roll bands forgot how to write like leads.
Yeah, I think that we're kind of like that, to be honest with you. But
No, but you got so much more going on. Like
Yeah.
you're like I'm talking about like rock and roll.
yeah,
Like, you've got layers and layers to your music that kind of takes the place of that.
yeah.
But for most of like the whole butt rock era,
Yeah.
nobody was shredding, man. Nobody was fucking shredding.
yeah.
There'd be a bridge in there, or maybe like a quick 5 to 10 second little ditty in there, but like they got away from the art of shredding. And now we're seeing it kind of come back with some of the newer metal,
Yep.
some of these bands that are out there just killing it and stuff.
Yeah.
I think throughout that whole era, I think that's why Avenged Sevenfold was so successful.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan.
Shredding
I don't.
it
The,
up.
the new shit sucks. Like the last couple albums has not been very good.
I will say it's pretty weird.
It's
weird
it's experimental,
stuff.
but I don't like it.
I've heard
maybe
it.
somebody
I'm
does.
on that kick where I don't listen to shit.
Yeah. But I mean, as they got big, like those guys were just shredding.
Yeah.
And it's like they were the only ones doing it at the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
So no wonder they got so big.
Yeah. Yeah. We were
Arpeggios
literally
coming in.
talking earlier. I don't know if you guys covered this while I was rocking a piss, but
No.
we were literally talking earlier about Joey was like, this is like some of the most simple stuff I've ever played is in this band. Like, and it's like that's because it's so effective. Like,
Yeah,
it's
less is
like-
more.
He's like, like Joey can shred, man. He's a shredder. His name on Instagram's the Grim Riffer. This guy riffs, man.
Stupid.
But that being said, that was kind of like another part of our like learning curve for this band was like, we started out really heavy, writing some more like technical stuff, and then we kind of realized the stuff that we were really enjoying was the more like simplistic, just like emotional, like
Let
just
everybody
good
shine,
song,
man.
and
Everybody have their parts.
and props to Joey because not many guitar players are gonna step back and be like, you know what, like I'm gonna take the back seat and just let you guys do your thing. And that's what makes him a really good songwriter in a lot of ways is that he gives everything room to breathe. Joey's not over there playing arpeggios.
Yeah.
he
not
ain't
called
cranking
for.
no solos yet.
People
so-
don't want to hear me shred. They want to hear them sing. They want to hear the songs. They want to hear the stories that we're telling. And I think that stepping back a little bit, that's the only way to do it.
Let
them tell their stories.
It opens you up a little bit on stage too to kind of
Yeah, sure. I love that too.
have some little more fun.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. He's not standing over there.
necklace.
Yeah, no shame on that though.
Yeah, no shame. You guys rule.
Yeah, yeah, don't
Everybody
get-
that
yeah,
does
I
that.
don't wanna sound like
I
I'm
played
hating or
in
anything.
a tech death band before this band.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying that over and over again. Like I'm a fan of everything as long as it's got some heart to it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like I was saying earlier. People can tell if you're bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a lot of even with pop music. Like I'm not going to sit and listen to a Taylor Swift album, but that girl can fucking write, man.
Oh yeah,
She can write.
she's got some bangers, man.
she's
I
got-
went to the Post Malone show the other night.
Yeah.
Post fucking rules, by the way, but it was a country music concert.
Yeah.
It was a country music concert, 100%. And no hate on country music because I like some Garth Brooks every now and then, and some Alan Jackson maybe. But
Alan Jackson's
you know what I'm
that
saying?
man,
But
though.
other than that, like it was a country music concert, and this dude still shredded it, and
Yeah.
somehow made it his own. You know. So
Yeah, I mean that's where
pretty
everything's going right now. Is kind of everything's trying to cross
Yeah,
with
dude,
country.
there's such a huge like resurgence in country.
Well, it goes
right
back to what
now.
I was saying earlier about how stupid people are. Like my problem with pop, with pop country is that it plays to like the lowest common, like the
Yeah,
simplest,
sure.
Yeah.
dumbest shit. I'm
Our
gonna
next
piss
album.
somebody off.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't want to hear our next song. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna piss somebody off with this, but I was at a restaurant or a store or something the other day, and they had music playing on the PA, and I was at a steakhouse. I was at a steakhouse, and yeah, I don't know who the artist was. I don't know what the name of the song was, but the song is a sweet message about dating a girl who's already got a kid, and like that's my son or something.
Yeah.
But like listening to the words, like it sounds like somebody from a trailer park wrote that song.
Hell
like,
yeah.
you want to cry?
the-
Listen to "Don't Take the Girl" when you're about 14 beers in.
Dude, yeah.
Don't take the girl.
That song hits hard though, right? That song had heart. That shit hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Again, I can respect it as long as it's
Yeah,
got heart.
there definitely is like that like country rap, country pop sort of like crossover that's happened over the past like 10 years.
It's
right?
I'm sorry.
I grew up a
it's
country kid,
annoying,
man. I
dude.
did.
It's so fucking annoying.
Toby Keith was my first favorite artist, you know. God rest his soul. And
I didn't know he died, dude.
don't cry right now. We'll cry afterwards. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's you know, I definitely most of the stuff that comes out these days on country music, CMT or wait, what's
Don't
the-
say that because we're gonna be country
Oh, yeah,
next
yeah.
year, bro.
Yeah, dude, if you really want to see success, start writing country music.
Yeah.
We're going
Oh,
to next
well,
year.
you know.
We're going to be a cover band in the next.
My pride
5
can be
years,
bought,
for sure.
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. Write me a check. We'll start the album. Let's go.
You ever been to Japan?
Sign me up.
God. Oh man, that's our 5-year plan.
Yeah, 5
Country
years.
music tour in Japan with Laniidae. That's what a sight to see. That's gonna be.
I'll be up there still doing the crab stance, like throwing down. It's gonna be cut there.
Well, that's what's cool about bluegrass music. It's like a way to mix country and
That's
heavy
hard
metal.
as hell to play.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
bluegrass
can't
is
play no
awesome.
bluegrass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
And I mean, you
it's
still got artists like God, what's his name? Not Tyler.
Tyler Creator.
No, I mean
He's dope. He's dope, man.
sick,
Yeah.
but Tyler Childers, like Tyler Childers out there writing
Don't
real
even know
country
who that
music.
is.
Like,
Who is that?
he's cool, man. He's got this really.
Who
like,
are
old
you,
school
Tyler
style.
Childers?
It's all very like heartfelt and like genuine music. But
Yeah.
Tyler Childers, who are you?
we're calling out Tyler Childers. But yeah, anyways, country's cool. I
Whatever,
guess.
dude. Why are we talking about country music?
I don't know how we got on this. I want to talk about the name Laniidae. One of my first questions to Joey when we first met was why explain that name, because I did not know, had never seen that word before.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to talk a little bit about it at all?
That's you. That's you, dog.
3 a.m. One random night. I drank a bunch of Twisted Teas and I felt right. You know, like, no, I don't know. No, I'm just fucking with
I'm going
no,
there. All right.
No, so yeah, it was probably about 3 a.m. in the morning and I had been drinking some Twisted Teas and I was watching the Discovery Channel and this little carnivorous bird just caught my attention and it was like, it impales its prey. It's a part of the shrike family.
Shrike. Yeah.
But they they catch their prey and they fly up and they impale it on sharp objects, and then they eat that prey
Yep.
while they're there, and it's called a Laniidae or a Laniidae or however the hell you want to pronounce it.
Laniidae is like the
It's-
official pronunciation, but
Yeah.
and we actually like had a conversation pretty early on. Like, are we gonna call this band Laniidae or Laniidae? And I was like, dude, no one's ever saying Laniidae. That's
Yeah,
never
yeah.
gonna happen. Like,
So, but that's what it's about, though.
So a badass,
It's a bird.
badass
It's literally
predatory
a bird.
carnivorous bird.
It's a carnivorous
bird.
little bird that rips its prey apart.
if you go back through our discography, there's a lot of bird imagery. Actually,
It's pretty metal. If you
No,
think
it
about
is.
it.
That's
Yeah.
heavy. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's super heavy.
We probably would have named our band something dumber
Yeah.
had we know where we were going with this band.
Yeah, honestly, like it worked out perfectly though, because like Joey had that name from day one. Like when he wrote the first like Laniidae demos, and I came over, like Laniidae was already like there, so we were like, cool. And
So
like,
I mean, were you like, what the fuck is that? Like,
oh yeah, I was like, so what does that mean? I just thought it was like a pretty name. I was like, that's a pretty name. Like she must be a pretty girl.
give
But,
it a few years, somebody will name their kid Laniidae.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be a
hope.
great day.
And
I
they'll
hope they
find, a weird,
tattoo
they'll
that.
find a
Yeah.
weird way to pronounce it too.
Oh yeah. First person to name their kid Laniidae gets at least one free T-shirt, maybe two,
Tattoo on the
Maybe
forehead.
two. Yeah.
Free
Yeah.
shows for life, I guess.
You're going on tour. You're going on tour.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah. You can come run merch. How about that?
The two eyes have to be
Yeah.
capitalized.
Let's get like the David Draymond, like two eyes. Sweet. Anyways,
Yeah, sorry, guys.
for all your tattoo
I'm trying to
recommendations.
think of a way for you guys to do like the sports body paint thing, but there's not enough of you to spell it out.
Oh
So,
yeah, we just Lanii. Lanny.
Lanny.
We got
My
Lanny.
wiener for the other eye. You know?
Yeah, that's perfect. We're gonna do that at the Rooster on November 2nd.
Speaking of,
We'll
let's
see.
promote the show. Let's
Yeah,
promote the
let's
show.
talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
All right. So this this will come out this coming Saturday, November the 2nd. Laniidae, Faithful Annie, Forever May Fall. It's my wife's birthday. You ain't got to bring her nothing. Just come to the show. Let's pack this place out.
party.
Let's have a good time. The flyer for the show. I love it. It's one of my favorite ones we've ever had.
Another brilliant stroke from the mind of Joey. Stroke of genius.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about how that came about with the?
You asked me for a flyer, so I drew one.
I think literally like
Well, it
You
ties
said
in.
I need a
Look,
flyer, and then you
I'm
said
gonna-
I need you to add Christy to it. So I'm sorry. C word to it. Wait.
just
No,
don't
no,
bleep
not
It sounds
that.
worse.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine.
Not
That's fine.
C word.
That's
Not
fine.
No, I didn't mean to say that. You know what I meant. Don't look
Give
at
him
me that
another
way.
twisted tea.
Don't look at me. No, so yeah. You said you need a flyer, so we wrote one up, and or I wrote one up, and I said, "Here's a flyer." I don't know,
Well,
it's
the,
cool.
the notebook thing.
DIY.
Doesn't that kind of tie into?
It ties in with
Yeah.
like the worst day lyric video and
Yeah.
everything. So it actually worked out. It was funny because we're like in the group chat and we're like, hey, do we need a flyer for this show? And Joey's like, already got it. Like, what? He sent us that. We're like, honestly, that works great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I just stuck our sticker at the top of it, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah,
it
we
looked like the
noticed.
actual- It looked like the actual thing, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Sorry,
All
guys.
right. Before we wrap this things up, man, anything else you want to promote? You want to plug? You want to tell people what to look for on social, that kind of thing?
Keep an eye out. We are going to be releasing a music video for Worst Day fairly soon. It's going to have a lot of familiar faces from the scene, which is cool. We had like
Sweet.
a bunch of people come in and help us
Yep.
out with it. So that's coming up. Also, we are probably going to drop another single before the year's over. So,
Yeah.
stay posted on our socials. We're going to be posting random stupid shit on there all the time.
Yep.
Yep.
Same thing. Yeah. Whatever you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Follow them. Is it at Laniidae?
At Laniidae Band, I believe.
At Laniidae
Yeah.
Band.
Yep.
Check them out, and then be here this Saturday the 2nd. They're going to rock this place out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing this, fellas.
Yeah,
I
dude.
appreciate
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank you.
Peace
Anytime.
and love.
See you guys.